안녕하십니까. 모바일 코리아 2020 5G 버티컬 서밋 2020 두 번째 날 키노트 좌장을 맡은 기아 코리아 단장 이성수입니다. 어제부터 진행된 본 행사에 저도 어제는 시청자로 함께 했었는데요. 현장에서 함께 하지 못함이 아쉽긴 했지만 온라인을 통해 우리나라의 5세대 이동통신, 5G 이동통신 융합 서비스의 사례를 소개하고 그에 대한 활성화 방안과 앞으로 다가올 차세대에 대한 이야기까지 들을 수 있어서 정말 특별한 시간이었습니다. 어제 개회식 키노트와 함께 스마트 교통, 스마트 공장에 대해서 이야기했다면 오늘은 키노트 두 번째 시간과 함께 실감 미디어, 스마트 시티 앤드 재난안전, 그리고 공공융합, 해양융합까지 이야기 나눌 시간들이 준비되어 있으니 끝까지 관심 가져주시고 유익한 정보 많이 받아가시길 바라겠습니다. 그럼 첫 번째 발표를 진행하도록 하겠습니다. The Future World of 2035 Created by ETRI 라는 주제로 발표해 주실 한국전자통신연구원 이승환 실장님을 모시고 이야기 들어보겠습니다.
It is my honor to introduce the future world of the 2035 created by ETRI. My talk consists of 4 parts. After a brief introduction, I will talk about examples of future forecast, a creative thinking experiment, new concept forms will be followed. Then, I will introduce main content of ETRI's 2035. What is the future? The dictionary meaning of the future is the period of time that will come after the present. It is impossible for humans to accurately predict the future because foreknowledge is the area of God. Professor Jim Dator is a pioneer in futurology. In 1967, she created the Future Association with Alvin Toffler. According to Professor Dator, futurology is not about predicting one future, but about predicting multiple alternative futures. Peter Drucker is the father of modern business administration. The future is very important in decision making. This is because the more uncertain the future, the more difficult it is to make decisions. Drucker said the best way to predict the future is to create it. Putting together the world of the two, we infer that the future may not be one but many, and we can create as we wish. Painter Jung-moon Lee is a representative cartoonist who imagines the future. He imagined a life in the 2000 in 1965. It is the picture on the left. A small TV phone has different names, but it is the same as today's smartphone. Most imaginations, such as pollution-free electric vehicles and cleaning robots, have been realized now. The picture on the right shows how it was envisioned. The small TV phone drew hint from radios used by soldiers. At the time, he imagined that the electric train that were traveling in Seoul would become electric cars when they develop. It was not just imagining anything that wasn't there. It was the result of adding a prediction of technological development to the facts of 1965. Most of the imagination have been realized, but the trip to the moon is not. Why? In the middle of the presentation, I will tell you why. The future is uncertain. In other words, it means that everything will be possible. It is a possible future. However, considering the probability, the probable future will have fewer branches than the probable future. It may be a possible future for the sun to rise in the west, but it does not look like a possible future. So, if you let the future go as it flows, we will have the most probable future, whether that future is what we want or not. Would that be desirable? If we can change the future with our effort, how about we create a preferable future? From now on, let's look at some future forecasting from the viewpoint of the form it realized. The picture on the left is a collection of 2,000 imagined during the 1900 World Expo in Paris. You can see video conferencing, cleaning robot, flying mailers, and electric shoes with wheels. Most of forecasts have been realized in terms of both concept and form or either. For example, the concept and the form of video conferencing in 1900 are similar to the current concept and form. On the other hand, a cleaning robot has the same concept but has a different form between forecast and reality in the 19th and 20th centuries respectively. Shall we look at the latest cases? Various organizations such as institutions and companies like Samsung are predicting different futures through visualized forms. Painter Jung-moon Lee is still actively predicting the future of 2041, 2050, and other decades later. The future imagined from different organizations are not all completely different. There are common concepts such as artificial intelligence robot, brainwave helmet, and flying cars. However, the form and the timing of realization are different each other. Why the realization timings are predicted differently? And why has not Painter Jung-moon Lee's trip to the moon, as mentioned here, still come true? The answer lies in technology. Technological development has certain laws like Moore's law. The same goes for not only the iced field, but also the non-iced field. In addition, since there are innovations that transcend certain laws in technological development, it is very difficult, even for experts, to accurately predict this. Painter Jung-moon Lee predicted the future based on current facts at the time, but there was no accurate information on the reduction in space launch cost due to technological advances. In other words, although the cost of launch space was reduced as shown in the picture, he did not know that it wasn't small enough to be popularized in 2000. ETRI was able to derive implications by analyzing various futures from various organizations. As a result, it is found that future products or services are classified into 6 form groups when looking at the human as the center. Humans of the future will become augmented humans with the help of 3 artificial intelligences: cognitive and emotional intelligence, non-human intelligence, and embodied intelligence. The space where human exists is expanded, and the boundary between virtual and reality disappears. So, the real virtuality exists in the real world, and the internal space of autonomous driving cars can be freely created as we want while moving. Of course, there will be a convergence platform on ICT infrastructure that is invisible, but enables the augmented human and the expanded space. ETRI conducted a creative thinking experiment to create ETRI's preferable future of 2035. A new concept form is a future product or service that does not exist at present. It is made by reflecting not only the technological advancement, but also the future requirement we create. It is a conceptual design necessary for the first mover, who takes the lead in a future that no one has been to. On the other hand, fast followers don't have to imagine the future. It is because the fast followers only have to follow those who are currently ahead. Why is the form so important? First, it can be used for large-scale projects to set clear targets by visualizing specific forms and tying fragmented element technologies together. Let's take an example of Lego blocks. Suppose each element technology is a piece of Lego blocks. Specified blocks should be used to assemble a flying vehicle. Also, even for the same flying vehicle, required blocks differ depending on whether it is a helicopter or a fighter. In this way, you set goals through forms. You can know more, especially what skills are needed where. Second, the ambiguity can be easily removed. The quantitative performance itself cannot express all aspects of the technology. There remains hidden parameters that cannot be expressed by the quantitative performance parameters. Take an example of a drone technology. Human drones, drones that transport goods, and drones for military use have different forms. Even with the same drone technology, literally, if it is expressed through forms, various technical requirements such as form factor, weight, flight time, and noise level will be easily distinguished according to the purpose. Third, even with the same technical performance, the technical impact is judged differently depending on the form. Implementing the 1990 IBM CPU in 2020 is not difficult. By the way, it can be very challenging to make a 10-cent CPU with the same performance in salt size. The definition of national intelligentization X plus AI is to intelligentize every domain X of the nation as a whole. There are 4 sectors for the national intelligentization: individuals, society, industries, and public services. There is a change of core values. If the core value in the past was growth, the core value of X plus AI is humanity. In an era where humanity is a core value, the role of ICT is expanding not only to industrial development, but also to improving the quality of life, community happiness, and life and safety first. ETRI has newly defined technological and social roles to establish a future vision in 2035. This slide shows the technological role. The technological role is to lead the infrastructure 4.0 technology that converges the physical and the cyber world. Looking back on the development of Korea in the past, it was a structure in which the government built infrastructure every 30 years and the private sector blossomed on it. In 1970s, the physical infrastructure, the road network, was established and the manufacturing industry grew. In 2000, communication networks, a cyber infrastructure, were established and the ICT industry grew. Likewise, in 2030s, a convergence platform that combines physical and cyberspace will be built and national intelligentization will be realized on it. The social role is to realize the core value of national intelligentization, humanity, through human-oriented ICT. We derive social roles from comprehensive and macroscopic perspectives based on the analysis of national plans and strategies. Human-centered ICT for individuals is a technology that makes it easy for anyone to use intelligent information. It is also a technology that can improve the convenience of everyday life. Appropriate ICT for society is a technology to mitigate the inconveniences of the aged and the disabled. It is also a technology that can facilitate communication and empathy with the disadvantaged. Disruptive ICT for industry is a technology to radically improve production efficiency. It is also an untapped technology for the post-COVID-19 era. Sustainable ICT for public services is a technology for national security and public safety. It is also a technology for the sustainability of humanity to solve future problems or worries that hinder happiness. 12 new concept forms in 4 major sectors: individuals, society, industries, and public services are derived considering both technological and social roles. For each form, we have defined the state of development every 5 years until 2035. Indeed, roadmap for key technologies composing each concept form is defined. For individuals, digital personal assistant for easy use of intelligent information, life companion robot, and connected mobility for the improvement of life conveniences were derived. The digital personal assistant interact with humans and help them with the difficulties and complexities of everyday life. The life companion robot provide custom services at homes to prepare especially for an aging and single-person household society and to promote a work-family compatible society. The connected mobility can respond to traffic accident, inconvenience in mobility, and the mobility disadvantaged through hyper-connected autonomous driving that guarantees a 0% traffic accident rate and 100% safety. For society, augmented body exoskin for the mitigation of inconveniences for the aged and the disabled was derived. Affective care for the emotional communication and empathy was derived. The exoskin can be worn as part of the body to complement degraded or damaged functions. Indeed, it can strengthen users' abilities to help them lead an independent life in an aging society. The affective care can provide emotional communications and treatment that transcend time and space through emotional interaction and the 5 human senses. For industries, smart farm and autonomous factory for the improvement of production efficiency were derived. For the cultivation of untapped industries, AI tutor and medical AI hub were derived. The smart farm responded to climate changes and consumer pattern changes through interconnections of production, distribution, and consumption. The autonomous factory can respond to reduced labor and personalized consumption trend by autonomously producing product in collaboration with AI robot. The AI tutor provide high-quality education in cyberspace through personalized in-depth learning. The medical AI hub provide global high-quality medical services through hospitals with AI doctors, medical equipment, and information systems that collaborate, strengthen, and evolve. For public services, AI military staff and digital twin city for the national security and public safety were derived. For the sustainability of humanity, Energy Maestro was derived. The AI military staff lead the battlefield in partnership with human commanders. This can reinforce combat capability and respond to reduced military resources. The digital twin city supports safe and convenient life through the autonomous communication and collaboration between intelligent objects and intelligent spaces. The Energy Maestro achieves carbon zero energy independence through autonomous energy production and trading using accurate prediction of supply and demand. Finally, I'll conclude my talk by introducing one day in 2035, where these new concept forms are harmonized together. Thank you.
ETRI가 꿈꾸고 만들어가는 2035년 미래상에 대해서 이야기 드려볼 수 있는 아주 귀중한 시간이었습니다. 이승환 시장님, 다시 한번 감사합니다.